Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Happy Tag Tuesday. Nice to see everybody coming around. Nice to see such an awesome tag making the rounds. The Anti-TBR tag. It's really, really cool, isn't it? Definitely gave me a lot of food for thought. I've seen so many people doing it. Saw Scally Dandling about the books do it earlier today. Saw Ernest Lee Eston do it. And he actually hit me to do it myself. So I can't help myself, right? It's really cool. Just hearing it and thinking about it as I'm hearing other people's talk, I'm like, man, well, everybody's a discriminating reader, right? There's things that we like and there's things that we don't like. And the things that we don't like can be just as telling about the kind of reader that we are as the things that we like. So it's a very cool tag. The original is by Nicole and her books, and it's a pretty funny video. She's definitely got her own style there, and thank you, Nicole, for creating the tag. The first, I got questions up on my PC here, so I'm just gonna read them off. A popular book that everyone loves that you have no interest in reading, and I haven't heard anything about these books, personally. So that's why they made the number one spot of popular books that everyone loves that I personally don't have any interest in reading, and it's The Hunger Games. I've come into contact with this kind of thing, you know, a game where children, you know, have to fight for their lives in order to gain an unbelievable prize kind of thing over and over and over. It's been done to death, and it seems like it's been, done over and over because it's super interesting, right? It's super dark, but nothing beats out the older movie now called Battle Royale. If you haven't come in contact with it, and you like this kind of thing, this dystopian kind of a game where whatever, Battle Royale is fantastic. It's so crazy, and I just don't have any desire to see this kind of thing done again, and you know whatever. Number two, a classic book or author that you don't have any interest in reading. And, I hear good things about this author, but I don't have any interest in reading personally anymore by J.D. Salinger. And I read Catcher in the Rye a long time ago. And it's a good book. It's written well, and I enjoyed it when I was reading it as far as a reading experience. But it's so unreliable narrator and all that kind of thing. But it was just such a turnoff to me. The payoff in that book, kind of sticks with you. I've thought about it many times over the years, things like that, but never in a way that makes me think, man, I want to read more by Salinger and see what else he does. Even though I hear such wonderful things about Franny and Zoe and Nine Stories, different things that Salinger has done. That he's a great author, but personally, I just don't have any desire to go for J.D. Salinger anymore. Number three, an author whose books you have no interest in reading. And I I've read one book by this author and read about this author as a result of it. And the author that I have no no desire to read anything by is Ayn Rand. I'm piggybacking off of Scally Dandling about the books with that one too. She said the same thing, and it's very valid. I mean, Ayn Rand, she has a book titled "The Virtue of Selfishness." Okay, you know what kind of egocentric in ultra individualism is that? You know what I mean? Uh, and the fact that her writings and her philosophy is used now and appropriated for a political stance is just such a turnoff. I read Atlas Shrugged back in the day, and John Galt's monologue at the end of that book is just a glorification of selfishness, is what it is. It's put in a way that if the discriminating reader is going to see that, but if you're not really thinking critically, then it's going to sound like, oh man, this is exactly right, and it's cool. But these people that I've just seen too many times, Atlas Shrugged sitting there on, the big boss's desk or something, as like, that they're like proud that this is your favorite book or something, or what you kind of live your life by. And it's so I don't want to say short-sighted, but it's wrong-headed is what it is. We're here for each other. A perspective of what it means to be human and to care for other people and to love people. You're not here to be self-serving. All right. So, Ayn Rand. Number 4, an author that you've read a couple of books from and have decided that their books are not for you. And this goes to my all-time number 1 love-hate relationship with an author, Jose Saramago. I've read a couple few Saramago works. I love his writing, and I enjoy the reading because the writing is so well done, and the translations by are actually well done as well, because he wrote originally in Portuguese. But he's a wonderful writer, and it's enjoyable to read, but I find myself not liking what has been written on the page as far as the subtext and like what's behind the general outlook on life. I don't like it. So when it comes down to it, it's an author that I've read quite, a couple few from, and I will read, I've read 3. I've read The Double, I've read Blindness, and I've read The Gospel According to Jesus Christ. And I have a lot more. You know what I mean? I've acquired Saramago's works. And I might read some more, but I'm of the mind state now that I know that they're not my type of book. He's not my type of guy. And so, I'll probably read it because I want to know, and I just have that kind of, but it'll be down the road, and it'll be when I'm ready to enter into, checking out some more of his kind of stuff. Number 5, a genre you have no interest in, or a genre you tried to get into but couldn't. And I'm not necessarily opposed to any type of genre. I'm not a big genre fiction reader anyways. I don't go for a certain genre. I read literary fiction more than anything. For my fiction reads, I'm reading just literary fiction. I love sci-fi, and I like, all kinds of stuff. But what I don't like, and what the kind of genre that I don't like, is formulaic genre novels. These formulaic novels, these authors who are like John Patterson, maybe. I've never read anything by him, but these authors where they have a set way of doing work, doing novels, where they're comfortable reads for the people who are already fans, and the ones that are not fans, they can just pick it up, a beach read, a vacation read, something that is quick, fun, not to, not gonna shake the boat, gonna be a satisfying read, gonna be a satisfying ending, close the book, and you're glad that you kind of read because, it's better than, um, you know, wasting time some other way, right? Number 6, a book that you bought but will never read. This I don't understand at all. Because, I mean, I don't buy a book unless I want to read it. I see books all the time that I don't want to read, and I don't buy them. You know what I mean? So, there's not a book that I've bought ever that I don't want to read. So, uh, a little aside on that one, maybe some of the Jose Saramago that I've bought, right? Because it is that kind of thing where there's an aspect to the author that I don't like, yet there's aspects that I enjoy a lot about reading his works. So I've bought Death with Interruptions, and I've bought The Cave, and those books I haven't read, and I don't have any intention on reading them soon, but I got them because I got them really cheap, and then we'll see when they kind of make their way onto the TBR, right? Number 7, a series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and then DNF'd. And a series that I have no interest in reading is the Twilight series, for sure. People love the Twilight series. My daughter read it years ago, and since had watched the movies quite a bit. We own a number of them, maybe all of them for all I know. I've seen quite a bit of the Twilight movies, just being in the room with her. And then we have talked about the Twilight series quite a bit in relation to the movies. And it's just, who needs it? Okay? I mean, really. I don't have any. I'm not a reader that's looking for just that kind of read. I want reads that have some real substance to life, with them, instead of just you know, emotions and a love triangle or something like that. Emotions are perfect, are essential, and a love triangle could happen for sure. But that's not the basis of the of the actual substance of the book. What it would be for me, it would need to be, the psychology of the people going through the love triangle, and their motivations, and what they're, something interesting like that. And just emotions for the sake of putting emotions out there. Why? Emotions for the sake of exploring emotions, and why certain characters feel the way that they do, and what is and how it kind of motivates them to action or inaction, is totally fine. And that is, might be a great part of a story. But I just don't think that there's any kind of substance like that. So I haven't really gotten into that. Number 8, a new release I have no interest in reading. And a new release that I have no interest in reading is Chuck Palahniuk's Adjustment Day. Or no, Chuck Palahniuk's The Invention of Sound. That's the newest book, Chuck Palahniuk's The Invention of Sound. And why I have no interest in reading it when I've read almost every Chuck Palahniuk before that is because Adjustment Day, his last book, was so bad that I can't even get around it. Adjustment Day was something that was so shallow in its scope, and so poorly executed in the writing itself too. I mean, there is so many parts of the actual writing of that book where I was like, are you serious right now, man? You write better than this. You've written so much. And it's like, the book before that, Beautiful You, is my favorite Chuck Palahniuk. I love Beautiful You. It was so fun and awesome, and the end is so satisfying. And then to follow it up, arguably, years later, he took a hiatus from writing for sure. But to follow that up, his best work, as far as my eyes, is in my eyes, with his worst work, Adjustment Day, it really just turned me off, and I don't have any need to get back into reading Chuck Palahniuk. I've got my fill, right? So unless there is just the strongest, well articulated recommendation, I'm not gonna read The Invention of Sound. So this was a really cool tag, y'all. Thank you very much. Holler at me if you got any kind of thoughts as to what I said. Bye bye, BookTube.